Hey guys, this is Soulcalibur 6 Character Creation Challenge, and I recently got a request to make Gambit from X-Men, so I'll be giving that a go today. And as far as races, I know that Gambit is known for having glowing eyes, so I'm gonna go for Malfested level 1. Because I think that is the one that includes pupils. I think that's what we want. Now, weapon style, first of all, is pretty obvious. That'll be Keelik. I'm still fairly new to Soulcalibur 6. I don't remember all of the stats, but it looks like this one's what we want. Fairly basic. Now with the updates, they've added a bunch of special hit effects. But something that just looks like kinetic energy is probably best. And I've looked at a few pictures for reference. It looks like his color energy is typically purple, kind of a reddish purple. So we'll go with that. Body type. I think he's about in the middle. He's not particularly skinny, is he? About muscle mass. Just to see what they look like. It might actually be better to wait until I've got some clothing on him and to see how the muscles show through. That looks good for now. I actually think I want to change his hair before I try changing his face. And I've seen a few different hairstyles, but there's probably only this one that's actually in this game. I don't think he ever wore a mullet, did he? Now voice. I don't think there is anything that gives me a Cajun accent.
I won't hold back. Ah, this'll be easy. I won't. Ah, this'll be easy. Ah, this'll be easy.
That is cocky, but not his
this'll be easy.
Tone quite.
You will die.
This should be a good fight.
This fight.
Why do you choose?
I can see the.
Let's go. Let's go.
I haven't memorized all of the dialogue that the different voices do.
Let's go.
But that sounds more like his personality.
Let's go.
I think. Face. I think that's already pretty good. But is there better? This is what I typically refer to as the Keanu Reeves face. Face number 21. I think it's too serious though. I like that. I'd like to change his eye color before we go much further. Now which is... What I'm seeing in the online pictures is purple, but more on the reddish side. I think that's good for now. And we'll change it up later after we see how the rest of the outfit looks and make sure it all goes together. Now, because I have a tendency to forget this later, I will change up the color of his weapon while I remember to do it. I think it's typically one solid piece, so we'll make that all the same color. Now I find that when you want to get like actual color in the attack streak, what do you call that? You typically have to put the cursor like right in the middle, because it just fades to white if you go too light or too dark. So right in the middle is where you want to be. Alright, let's get some clothes on you. I do want him to have a bodysuit that's gonna look good when his coat is destroyed. But that also looks the way that it's supposed to look for the parts of him that aren't covered by pants or coat. So I don't think that's quite it, although I do like that look. I don't know if he has burns underneath the coat. I would assume not. I feel like that's hiding his muscles entirely, so I don't like that. I'm wondering if in order to get the look right, what I'm gonna have to do is just put paint all over his body instead of giving him a bodysuit. Which I may end up having to do anyways in order to try and get his helmet right, because he's got a weird helmet, this Gambit, that covers the cheeks and the forehead, but leaves the rest of his face bare. I may have to make his skin tone one color and then give him a face paint that's more like his actual skin tone. I'll experiment with that, but first I'll put a trench coat on. Once I start noticing variables in how I can proceed, it's best to put on the things that I know I'm going to be using, the things that are not variable, so that I can see what I have to work around. There's more equipment to put on him, but I want to get the coat color right first. I like that shade. Now, some versions of him have him wearing pants. Not all of them, but if I end up having to paint his chest and give him something different, like a different color from the waist down, the pants would be the easiest way to do that. Not seeing anything that looks good though. He has these kind of armored boots as well, doesn't he? Let's stick those on. Now his boots only go as high as the knee. See what I can find here, and I'm pretty sure they cover his whole foot. Oh, that doesn't even go all the way around the back. Never mind. Don't want anything that looks too elaborate. Yeah, like pointy boots, that's not gonna... That doesn't work for me. I'm actually digging this Scorpion Greaves the most, but they don't cover his feet entirely. There might be something I can do with that using extra pieces. What do they call these? Special equipment. 1, 2, and 3. I may have a look at doing something with those later, but first he's gonna need gloves. And I don't think there's gloves that cover just the middle 2 fingers. But I think for his personality, anything fingerless would fit. If I can find some. Yeah, actually I'm not finding fingerless gloves. That's disappointing. I know there are some for the women. Let's see, his regular gloves might have to be it. I don't think he has a necklace, but he's got something that covers the upper portion of his chest into his neck. So I'm gonna see what there is as far as things that go around the neck. Okay. I'm gonna play about with skin tones now. Because of the face, if I end up not liking the direction that it's going, I don't think I've changed his skin tone yet, so just go back to... Oh, is that where it is? It's not even on the default color, it's over here. Okay. Does that look better? I guess that's more him. Yeah, okay. So if I don't like how this is going, if I find that I can't get quite the look that I'm going for, then I can just switch the skin back to default color. Mind you, since this is supposed to be his skin-tight bodysuit, it will look weird when his coat breaks and he's got nipples on his bodysuit. It would not be the first time that's happened with a superhero, but I think it would be a first for Gambit. Now, changing the face to be the way that I want it to be will be easy or difficult depending on what the options are. Yeah, because what I would want is something that either covers the eyes and the mouth, or something that goes in the reverse, so that I can make one purple and the other the skin tone. So I could potentially do this plus a separate piece of paint that I just add on over his face. I might be covering this cheek too much. Maybe instead of trying to work with the default face paints, I'll just go directly to putting some of these on manually. I don't know if I'll be able to warp these pieces to quite what I need them to be. And they warp it differently depending on projection and rotation. And I don't know which is better for making it elongated or vertically. How does that look? That looks terrible. I'm going to switch this to rotation. Move down, shrink somewhat. So that has warped, but it's warped very horizontally, which is not what I want. I'd have to use quite a lot of those to get his face the way I want it to be. So maybe I'll use that with the other face paint that I was looking at before. Maybe the combination will give me what I want. Now, that is not the same skin tone. 2914. What's this? 2914. But it is not the same 2914, is it? Yeah, it's weird because I'm pretty sure I've done this before and it's worked. Combining face paint with manually applied paint / tattoo. Maybe because it's not a human character technically that I'm using it on, so the skin tone is changing in ways that I don't actually want it to. There is still this line occurring, and I don't know what that's about. His helmet is not supposed to be the same shade as his torso. So I think I'm gonna have to change that up anyways. Change up that approach. Okay, so what I'm gonna try next is I'm gonna remove the face paint. And I'm gonna try, I think, paint that you want to overlay other paint. You have to put in the earlier slots and the ones that you want underneath, the ones in the later slots. If not, if that's not how it works, I will find out in the very near future. I'm gonna try this first. I'll apply what is supposed to be his helmet. And I'll use the rotation variation. Because I do want it to go all the way around if possible. I don't know if it'll actually let me do that. I think we want it to be pretty dark. Location. It is technically the head, but I want to go down to the chest as well. Does that work? No, it has to be a separate piece. Okay. And then I'll put it on this chest first. Where'd you go? Oh, that's where you went. Okay. That will go up his face a bit too. I don't think I need it to though. Aha. Okay, so what I want is for this to go all the way around his head. I don't know if I can make that work. Now, I neglected to memorize the color of the other one, so I'm gonna go check that. 043.8. Oh, pretty close. Okay, so now, if I can find a good shape or combination of shapes to do his face, that would be ideal. I'm not seeing a lot of great options. I'm going to put this on and see how it looks. Shrink and drop a bit. I wonder if even just another square, but like smaller in size, would work. Color again. 2554. I'm gonna try rotation and see if I can get that any smaller. Looks like I can. Alright, that's a little just. Okay. Skin ends up looking a little bit more pale than I would like. Now, something I neglected to check is if there actually is already a helmet that looks like that. That could have saved me some trouble. I assume that there isn't. Padded headgear. You know what? That might actually be it. But it covers up his beautiful hair, so we don't want that. It's stupid. Hands are, I think, usually kind of brownish. I'm going to double check that. No, blue. Okay. That was my second guess, and I was preferring the sound of that. I think like dark muted. Armor seems to change, but mostly silver. No, I said I was going to see about getting him some foot gear to go along with the shin guards. So I'll have a look at that now. There isn't anything off the top of my head that would be relatively shaped like a foot. Oh, except for maybe this actual boot. That was a recent addition, I forgot about it. It's just this random boot that you can put anywhere, like, on your head. What? That's the default place where they put it where your actual foot is into the ground somewhere? Okay. This is what I'm looking for, move up. Yeah, I don't really like how that's going. It probably can be done, but it's... all I need is the actual bottom piece. I don't need the part that's actually going up the leg. I'm trying to make it go underneath that. It could end up being awkward. Make it more awkward than it's worth. I was going to be back to trying out different boots. Unless, because those are bare feet. Is there a sock that would look right? Preferably that doesn't quite so obviously look like cotton. for bandages. His default name is Briggs. That's not what I want. Oops. I accidentally hit random. Ralph is also not what we want. The name input is a bit weird. But it's better. They will now allow us to do separate words instead of having to put a hyphen between words. So the next thing then is to see how this looks in actual combat, and if there's more to fix, something shows up in combat that I don't like, then I'll come back into creation mode.
The fight to realize your ideals shall never end. Let's go! Bring it on! Battle 1. Fight!
Okay, I checked him out in a fight against himself, and he looked pretty good. The only thing I wasn't happy with was the skin tone was quite a bit lighter than I liked. So I just came back in and gave him more of a tan. So now he looks fine. And one thing that I forgot to do was check how clothing damage looks. It doesn't have any actual headgear. And that's how he looks with everything destroyed. The Purge leggings, for some reason, are not destructible. But that's okay, that actually saves me adding some pants, underwear, just because I'm feeling lazy right now. If I had more slots for adding stickers, then I'd add more detail to his upper body just so that it's not all the one color. But we've used up all 4 slots. Just trying to get the helmet right. So that'll have to do. How a character looks when clothing gets destroyed during battle is not as important as how it all looks together. I mean, depending on the purpose of the character. So that is going to be it for designing Gambit. Depending on when I put this video out, there may or may not already be a video of him fighting another character. If there is, then I'll add a link to that video at the end of this one. And so that is it for this creation video. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit like, and press the subscribe button if you want to keep notified about future content. And let me know what you think in the comments. I hope you're all staying safe, and I'll see you later.